guys could, big warm round of applause for our fearless leader, Mr. President.
Sorry guys, I'm just taking a moment to exhale after 2 hours of trying to get back to work, so I apologize. Guys, I'm really glad you're here. Seeing this room, with all of you here, means a lot. This started as us telling our story back in 2007. All we wanted to do was be obedient to what God said. To just let people know the story, and if they connected, they wanted someone to talk to, we gave them our email. The crazy thing was, is when we did that, the next day, I was on a flight, and I was at DFW changing, and I turned on my BlackBerry, so I'm dating myself here, and there were already 3 emails from people asking for help. And so I called Christy and said, hey, you're not going to believe this. She goes, yeah, I've got some too. I said, well, I guess God's got some other plans for us. Had no idea it would be this. And so, God took that moment of just sharing one story to see all the lives that have been impacted. Some are here, some are not. Some of you guys are just saying, you know what, I've seen life change and I want to support. And that means so much. So we're looking forward to telling some stories tonight, what Changing Lanes has done, who we are. I think the stories tell so much more than me standing here and talking to you. So thank you for your patience as we got the audio visual figured out, because otherwise we're going to be showing you videos and you just had to guess what they were saying. So Keith, you know what we got next?
Yeah.
So tonight we have our chairman of our board, Mr. Brandon Cox, is going to come up here, and they have some things that they're going to share with you, just kind of what we call our core values and the vision of the ministry. If you guys would, big round of applause for my friend, Mr. Brandon.
Good evening, everyone. I see a lot of faces that are familiar, and I've been a part of Changing Lanes for coming up on almost 9 years now. So back in 2015 was when I was introduced to Brett and started the program, and was lucky enough to be a part of about 6 or 7 different groups now along the way. And you know, this ministry has been very good to me, to my family. My wife's here, and you know, when I came in, you know, I knew a lot of biblical truths. I've been around church my entire life, but as many of you in this room know, there's a difference between knowing something here and knowing something here. And so getting to go through the program and experiencing some of the things we're going to talk about later, accountability, truth, love, for the first time was very liberating. And so made a lot of great friendships that some weren't able to be here tonight due to some other things that popped up. But you know, this ministry is just, it's special to a lot of people. It's hard. There's a lot of work that goes into it. Brett and all the leaders that are here, there's a lot of late nights. And our families have to sacrifice for that as well. My wife puts the kids to bed just about every Monday night. And so it's a team effort. And a lot of people are invested in this ministry. And God has done some just amazing things. And He's changing families. So, yeah. Our tagline. Let's get the tagline up here. So, tagline is hope found in a new life. So, you know, what that means for me is, you know, Galatians 2:20 says, everyone who is in Christ is a new creation. The old is gone, the new has come. And so for many of us, we came in Changing Lanes. We came in one way, and we came out a different way. Yep, you bet.
Thank you, Brandon. You're going to go to the next slide for me, Justin. You go back one. So, our tagline that we've used for so many years is Hope Found a New Life. So this last year, I wanted to add to it. And it's restoring families and equipping churches. Because each man that we have seen come through the program, there are multiple people that are impacted because their life has changed. It's their wife, their children, grandchildren, siblings, friends, co-workers. Just because one person said the same thing I did. surrendered to God and said, yes, I will trust you in the darkest areas of my life to find freedom. So with that, we see families restored. We also see the church being impacted. We're not going after anybody that is struggling in this area. We're specifically going to those that say, Jesus is my Lord, but I can't get past this. Our culture says right now that it's trying to destroy the church, and it is coming in all kinds of angles. And if the men in our church are unable to stand up to speak truth because they're too scared of the secrets they're holding on to, we're going to continue down this path. But if men will surrender those secrets and allow God to work in those areas, the church rises up. Jesus is glorified. That's what our hunger is. That's our desire. That's why we added this to the Hope Found in New Life. So Justin, go to the next slide for us. That's really our vision. Our vision is to see the global church free from sexual brokenness. Now, I was told the vision is supposed to be bigger than what you can do. I don't care. That's still what I want to do. You may say, okay, well, this is one thing that you're reaching out. When God placed it on my heart to do this, just to help people, that was just on weekends. And it started off meeting with guys one-on-one in a break room at a counseling office, which Terry Rivera, thank you for letting that happen. It goes from there to God saying, okay, well, maybe you need to do small groups. I'm an introvert, so what it takes for me to get there to talk to you guys is an act of God already. But in the midst of that, to lead multiple people that are all struggling with their darkest things, and then watching God do the work. I'm just the vessel. The leaders are working. We're just the vessel that He uses. And God says, and starts putting on my heart, what if it's more than that? What if I want you to actually get beyond Tulsa? Is that right? We have now been in multiple states used to the use of technology. And I'm not going to give you the number because I'll be stealing Keith's thunder for something else later, so I'm going to hold that. But God keeps putting things in happen. And yeah, you said you think you can go this far. I'm going to take you farther. Why not? Let's see the global church. That's my heart and where we're going with this. What do I got next, Brandon?
You have the mission.
All right. So our mission with this, I'm going to sorry guys, I'm still a little fried from all the technical stuff. Our mission is changing lanes of ministry devoted to helping men and women of all ages find freedom from the destructive effects of sexual brokenness. Our mission is to provide that biblically based support for restoration of the community and safe relationships. Nobody's immune from this. Whether you're a man, you're a woman, whether you're a child or you're an adult. Our culture is attacking us. And what are we going to do with that? Provide help, provide areas. And it isn't just idea, do these things and you're better. It is being able to lead them back to do as their Savior was. And that all the other areas that they said yes to Jesus, this one area he doesn't seem to fix. Help them to see that He's in that area as well. And that's our mission, which leads us into our 4 cores. Brandon, you want to jump into
Yeah.
some of these are?
Yeah. So our 4 core values are accountability, truth, connection, and hope. And accountability. For me, I've been in accountability groups for the first 34 years of my life, and they were all the same boilerplate accountability groups. People just checking a box, saying, "Hey." Everybody's just putting up their facade, and I'm not going to let you get that close to me because if you do, you may not like me, and I don't want that. And so one of the things that we start with all the groups is men being accountable to one another. So we have, we'll call it our OPER groups, and it stands for one-on-one. So men have to get together with all the different groups, and for the first time in their life, they're sharing with another guy, and they're telling them everything. We call it the 3%, right? Men are really good about telling other men 97% of what's going on in their life. But they like to hold on to that 3% because of fear of what you'll think of them. And so we challenged the men on that of, you need to be fully known. And that, for me, was a huge deal because I was really good about, hey, this is how I want you to perceive me. And so accountability is a huge part of it. And we're going to have a cool video with some great stars coming up in a little bit and talk a little bit more about it.
So we'll go into each one. These cores are going to be what we go through tonight. And we want to show you some stories with those. So I'm going to bring Keith back up here to kind of get us transition to the next part.
Excellent. Brandon, thank you. Appreciate you as a friend, as a man in changing lanes, and literally as one of my son's flag football coaches. So I love you, brother. Big round of applause for Brandon. His wife, Mandy, give us evening. Thank y'all. Man, I can relate to everything you just said, and I'm just so glad that y'all are in this room. We're going to begin again today, every day. And so we're going to jump into our first video of the evening. And just as kind of the layout for the night, we mentioned our 4 core values. Those 4 core values he was talking about are accountability, truth, and connection. And my notes have scratched off the 4th one. Oh, sorry, I needed to zoom in. It was right in front of me. So again, those are accountability, truth, connection, and hope. I hope you all dive in deep to the stories that are shared this evening. These are not made up. These are stories here in this room. These are your friends. These are your people. And I hope you relate to these and that you glorify God in both the good and the bad. I taught lessons today to kids in my children's ministry. We were talking about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And in Daniel, he says to King Nebuchadnezzar, who is threatening to throw them in the fire because they would worship his God and not their God. And they said, if you throw us in the fire, our God is big enough and he will save us. But if he does not, we will not bow down to your God. And I challenge us as we look at our first value of accountability, in the good and in the bad. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Amen? Amen. Hebrews 4:14-16, accountability. Check out our first video of the night. This is Mike Payne and Brandon Cox.
Sorry, technical difficulties decided to jump back on us. Hey, Jordan, wherever you're at.
What do you say we do another door prize? Yeah, for door prizes. What do you think? All right, drum roll, please. Yeah, all right. Brett said he wants to do this one. This one, before you announce it, this one is for a portable car air pump. You never know when you are stranded on the side of the road needing one of these. Everybody's got a story of a flat tire, don't you? Yeah. I know I do.
So is staff allowed? Brandon, where are you?
Congratulations.
Sure can.
As I MC this evening, I want you guys to get to know a little bit more about me. I'm a father of 4 beautiful boys, ranging from first grade all the way up to 7th grade. And so we're every other year, 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th. And my journey with this began a long time ago. But I was in 6th grade, 7th grade when I was first introduced to pornography. And it changed my world. As I moved forward into middle school and high school, it was one thing I just didn't want to do, and the one thing I always did. And as I moved into high school and on into college, it was the same story, different verse. I loved Jesus with my whole heart and had this addiction in my life. I thought marriage would fix it, and I thought going into ministry would fix it, and it didn't. And that 3% is a big part of my testimony where, especially in a position of ministry and leading kids to Christ and sharing with others all these amazing things, when you have weaknesses, that's kind of hard to take that anywhere. And I see a lot of heads nodding that you guys agree. Maybe you've experienced that. And so, as I've walked this journey, Changing Lanes came into my life at about 2020. And so my story includes divorce from a woman I love and somebody that is in my life currently and with my boys. And I know that even in brokenness, even in the moments that are high and the moments that are low, God's with us. He doesn't lose our name. He doesn't fumble. He doesn't throw us on the ground, and he doesn't shame. Man, shame is the S word to me. That was my best friend for a long time, and no longer, and no more. Because we serve a God of freedom, serve a God of justice. There are consequences for our sins, but man, there's love on the other end, and never-ending love, eternal love, and forever love. And I can't wait to describe his love to other people. As we navigate tonight, and as we hear stories, audio fixed, I want you guys to know you have a story. Every chair in here has a story. And tonight, we are celebrating those stories. And it's cringy. Like, nobody wants to be in the chair you're sitting in. Let's be honest. Like, nobody really wants to be here, right? But this is us. This is our group. This is what forgiveness looks like. This is what stepping forward into freedom looks like. This is what stumbling looks like. This is what community looks like. Brotherhood, sisterhood, marriages fighting for one another. This is what it feels like. And it is hard. And it is good. It is good. We're going to take a stab at this. Number 2. Let's give it a go. Mr. Mike Kane, Mr. Brandon Cox.
Started out in 2015 with Brandon and several other men. And it was definitely a God thing because it was something that I had struggled with as far as, pornography for several years. And I showed up to that group and started a 15, 18-month journey there, which changed my life.
It was really the first time that I had experienced men being really authentic and really not holding back.
One of the big things that we've learned in Changing Lanes is accountability.
But I could tell you something and it would be safe. I could tell you something and it wouldn't turn you away from me. And in our relationship, we had that trust and that safety through being in group together, of knowing that, hey, what I say with Mike is going to stay with Mike.
That connection every week has helped us to stay grounded. Not that he is my rock, Jesus is my rock, but he helps keep me focused.
When Mike and I started our accountability, it was this relationship that it evolved into. I could tell him something and I trusted that he was going to listen and he was going to help me get through it, and he wasn't going to judge me, because more times than not his response was me too.
I knew that I could share stuff with you and you weren't going to judge me. You might be real with me and be firm, but it wasn't going to change our friendship, our relationship. We were still going to be strong and good, and we're still going to be able to hold each other up.
James talks about pray for one another, confess your sins to one another so that you may be healed. You can't start that healing process until the confession takes place.
There's still things that try to distract us. Satan is trying to destroy us, try to destroy our families, try to destroy the church, trying to destroy ministries and things like that. And so we have to be real about that stuff and things that are going on in our lives. And sometimes, I'll be honest, I don't want to share that, but in order to stay grounded and real, we maintain that trust and that accountability.
Over the years, after we've met with Mike, my wife has told me multiple times, you're a much better listener and you're much more patient and understanding after you talk with Mike. And I think it's because I'm able to work through so many things with him that healing takes place because he understands me.
I want to be the very best that I can be for my wife. for my sons who are now grown, for my grandsons, for people I work with. You know, and if I'm not real at the ground level, then that starts to be affected at every single level.
I don't think you ever stop accountability. It's never checked off the list. It's always a part of the healing process. It's an essential part of our journey as we are becoming the men that God wants us to be.
All right, so we paid them for that. We did one whole cookie, and they seem to be okay to do that. So, guys, well, I want to first say thank you to Brad O'Hara back in the corner. He's with Storycatcher Studios. The videos you're seeing tonight, for the first 4, the ones that look good are from them. I say that because this is one I had to put in there. So, but accountability, it's huge. It's one thing that we always say, it's supposed to be a part of church, but who here has been burned by accountability? Where you try to talk to somebody, you share something with them, and you find out later it was used as gossip somewhere else. It hurts. You question, you doubt. That is one of the core things that we have, is the importance of the accountability of building it in 3 levels with these men. One is their whole group that they go through with. Second is in their small group. We split them off each night into 2 small groups. And the third is you pair them up one-on-one with somebody from the other small group. So there's 3 layers of accountability where when they're struggling, they have somebody to turn to. And it's not questioning, is that other person trustworthy? Because everybody came in with all of their junk. And it all stinks. But because it all is the same in the end, there's trust built. And when there's trust built, that you're willing to talk about things that you will not normally talk about. Like I could probably pull most of you guys in here tonight, pull you aside from our spouses, and we might be able to talk about some things a little bit more than we would in mixed company. And the depth that the men go through, when they go through changing lanes, I hear often, I'm sharing stuff with you guys that I've never shared stuff with anybody before. And how freeing that is. So when that happens, it's incredible to see. So that's the first of our cores that you saw there with Mike and Brandon. So Steve, you want to take us to the next thing?
So, have any of y'all seen the meme from Oprah when she says, you win a car, and you win a car? I need you to look under your chair. Because there are like 30, not cars, I'm sorry, budget cuts this year, but literally look under your chair. If you have a white envelope, I need you to tear it off your chair and hold it in the air because you have probably won Changing Lane stuff, coffee shop, Five and Below gift cards, Chick-fil-A gift cards. There's empty chairs over at this table. Go get them. Go get those chairs. Bob's not scared. Go, Bob. So there may be other things under the chair, like stickers and paper. That's not a winner. It's gonna be a white envelope. If you want something, raise it up in the air. Make everybody jealous. Yeah.
What is it, Mike?
I'm not joking. There's some empty chairs. Frank told me to get on that. There you go. Get it. It's all fun and games until you throw out some gift cards, man. It's time to box out. While you guys are tipping over tables and chairs, hey, Jesus did it. I want to real quick to my left, your right, thank our sponsors, DXP Consulting, Griswold Home Care of Tulsa, and Asbury Church. They have financially backed us and partnered with us to make this a big win tonight. So a big round of applause for our sponsors. All right. We're done with the giveaways for now. We'll save some of our door prizes for later. We've still got more in this bucket up here. And, yep. Yeah, those aren't door prizes. Yep. So we're going to jump on to our next video for the evening. This is our second core value, and this is connection. I'm sorry? truth. I need to zoom in, man. The screen's only so big. Watch my friend and yours, Mr. Ryan Doolin. This is his story.
Changing lanes is important because it taught me that my pornography problem was actually a relationship problem with me and God. I was thinking that no one was affected by my addiction when really I was affected, my relationship with the Lord was affected, and my relationship with my wife was affected. My pornography issue started when I was 18. I had a friend showed me pornography and I was hooked because it made me feel in control. I think the lie I believed into my marriage was that marriage would solve it. And while I had my wife's approval, it didn't stop my actions. My brain had already trained me that this comforts you. Sarah and I went to a marriage conference. They asked the question, if your wife was to rate you as a husband from 1 to 10, what would she say? And I immediately started crying because I knew she would say 10 because I was keeping a secret from her. And I saw the Lord say, you need to tell her. And so I did. Fully aware of the lie that she believed about me, not aware of how it would shatter her. That shattering is what led me to want help. Turns out the Lord was doing this through my wife, and it didn't take long for me to realize it's about me and him. 7-8 months into changing lanes, and I was just inspired one day that I was going to start reading the Bible from the beginning. I hold on to the truth that we talk about what we care about. What I cared about was freedom, and I believed that freedom came from knowing God. I couldn't know Him if I didn't read about Him. God is always there, and the more we speak His word, the more we can fight. I was leading this last group, and I explained to them that changing lanes doesn't solve your pornography problem. It gives you the tools to fight your pornography problem. Effective tools, if you use the truth that God loves me in my worst and in my best, helps me to believe that He is who He says He is. And who He says He is our comforter, our friend, our healer, and our Savior. And when you think about God in that way, pornography doesn't stand a chance.
Thank you to Ryan. He's in the back. You haven't noticed, he likes to speak out truth and he's willing to take your money as well. So, thank you, Ryan. So that we talked about that he was given information about changing lanes. Is it okay if I tell this story, Ryan? How you got to change it? Okay, Sarah. Okay. So his wife Sarah was at the church when Christy and I shared our story, and so she knew about changing lanes, and so she called Christy and invited her over to their apartment, and Ryan walks in with Christy there to be able to, with pamphlets in hand, to get him there. So this isn't all about me. Christy likes to stay in the shadows, but she likes to see people change too. So that's really, really cool in that regard. So the idea of truth, we can't do this with just some great social, psychological battle. This has to be grounded somewhere. If it's not grounded in the truth, what are we going to do? Where are we actually leading anybody? My heart, my passion is for Him. And my desires for everybody that comes through is to find that same passion for Him. Because He is the one that truly changes us. Yes, we can do things to modify our behavior so that I don't do the things I want to do, but does my heart change? Am I truly giving myself over to Him? And that only happens when we follow the truth. So that's our second course. So I'm going to bring back the fun guy. And he's got some stuff for you. So Keith, you want to do something about some CL trivia, is that right?
How much do you actually know? We're about to find out. At the center of each of your tables, there is a white paddle. Do not hit each other with it, you children. You must use that as a dry erase board. There is a dry erase marker also at the center of your table. You need to designate somebody with slightly legible handwriting that can write the letter A, B, C, or D on the paddle. Here's how the game will work. Y'all better be, this is, you gotta be honest, all right? So no big fat liars, and we kick big fat liars out of here. So we have 10 questions here, and if you get it right, you go on to the next round. If you get it wrong, we go wah, 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 and you must put your paddle down. Here's the first question. I will read the question and give you all 4 answers. You will write the answer down, hold your paddle up, both sides to where everybody can see your answer, maybe? No? Yes? No? Yeah, okay. Show it off. Be proud of your answer. And then we'll tell you if you're right or wrong. All right, question number 1. The Changing Lanes ministry began with Brett telling his testimony for the first time. You just mentioned that.
And Christy.
And Christy. True. It was at his church. What year did he share? A, 2006. B, 2007. C, 2008. D, 2009. Talk amongst yourselves. 06, 07, 08, 09. Please write your answers now. Man, those yellow Sharpies are the worst. Yeah. If we can get the lights turned up, that would be helpful. Or we have more markers over here that are darker colored. But we'll just have to trust you.
So who chose A, 2006? Who chose?
Who did C? Who did C? 2008, anybody?
Who C's?
I graduated 08, by the way. But no. The answer is
B, 2007.
B. If you have B, you move on to the next round.
I need to know, who was actually listening a minute ago and took it, or was it just a good random guess? Okay.
Question number 2. In 2013, Changing Lanes presented as a keynote speaker for the first time at a men's conference at Falls Creek. Now, this was the nation's largest youth encampment and still is. What was the name of that men's conference? Here are your 4 answers. A, Contenders. B, Catalyst. C, Rewired. D, Promise Keepers. Write down your answers now. A, Contenders. B, Catalyst. C, Rewired. D, Promise Keepers. Hold your A, B, C, or D high. How many paddles are still in? I see tables 1. All right.
Waiting on anybody?
Waiting on anybody? The answer is not Promise Keepers. Not Promise Keepers. I put that one in there to trick you.
Rewired.
Rewired. Was anybody there at Rewired? Anybody? Yeah. Okay. All right. OGs. That's right. OGs.
Let's break that.
Less gray. Okay. So, all right. Who's still left? Raise your paddles in the air. It's not fun if only like one person's still playing. All right, we got a lot still going. Question number 3. What year did Changing Lanes host its first hybrid group meeting? Hybrid meaning men meeting in the room and also men meeting via Zoom. What year did Changing Lanes host its very first hybrid group where men could attend both in person and online? A, 2018. B, 2019. C, 2020. D, 2021. Write your answers now. You may not phone a friend. That's cheating. Five more seconds. I need to see some paddles in the air. C? I see, not the letter C. Okay, anybody else we're waiting on your paddle?
What was the numbers again? The letters?
They are 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. I know, this is the honor system. I'm sure your penmanship's lovely, but the yellow, it's fading on me. The answer is the year of COVID. 2020, C. All right. All right, raise your call high there. Who got that one? Man, you guys going on to the next round. Number 4. In 2014, now we're going back to 2014, we're going all over the place. In 2014, Changing Lanes invested in their very first Changing Lanes group for blank. The group was for A, teens, B, married couples, C, pastors, D, wives. In 2014, Changing Lanes invested in their very first Changing Lanes group for teens, married couples, pastors, or wives.
And I did not wear a wig for the wise one.
Did not.
Which one did you wear a wig for?
So, again, the options were A, teens, like teenagers, B, married couples, C, pastors, D, wives. A, teens, B, oh, the question, I'm sorry. 2014, Changing Lanes invested in the very first, they started the very first Changing Lanes group for teenagers, married couples, pastors, wives. You may not even know we did it back in 2014.
It says on the right. It's correct.
Does anybody know sign language? Just hold up sign language from your table. Okay. All right, the answer is teenagers. In 2014, they had their first group for teens. Anything you want to expound on that one?
They're all grown now.
They're all grown. They're no longer teenagers. You didn't kill them. Number 5, Changing Lanes has an office in Tulsa. What is the address? What is the address? Is it? I'll spare you the numbers. Is it South Mingo Road, Commercial Drive, 41st Street, 42nd Street? You go there every week, guys. What's the address? A is Mingo Road, B is Commercial Drive, C is 41st Street, D is 42nd Street. Where's the office? Man. All right, raise those paddles high. Who's left? I see a couple of letters here, a couple of letters here. Y'all got on the Google Maps is what y'all done did. The answer is D. 42nd Street, Suite 220. Okay.
So in 2020, we started the hybrid groups, but that wasn't the first time we did online. We actually started online in 2014. It was Rewired, that conference, the men's conference, following year after we did the keynote. Someone came up to us at our table and said, "Hey, have you heard this thing called Zoom?" And so we started our online groups later that year using Zoom when it was like its first or second year of existence. So when we got to the hybrid group during COVID, that was nice and easy for us. Some of my guys that are in here, they're in that. That was a real fun time. Kind of, maybe not. But with that, that has given us the opportunity to reach beyond Tulsa. That actually has let us go to that vision of the global church. So the trivia question we have now is, how many states has Changing Lanes had somebody in that's been a part of our group? A is 5, B is 10, C is 15, D is 20. All right, so who's left? What's your answer? So I see 4 out. So you say 15, C is 15, against who that says C, 15. What do you do, Patrick? C. C, where's yours, Rhonda? C15 is correct. Now, if you're curious, what are those 15? Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, Kansas, New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, the state of Washington, which has been the highest represented outside of Oklahoma.
Wow.
We got enough guys out there that we probably need to start a satellite office out there. And once we graduate a few of them, I think we're going to seriously look at seeing what the possibility that is. Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Rhode Island, and Indiana. So it just keeps on going.
This isn't a small ordeal. This is a nationwide and maybe one day international opportunity for men to find freedom, families to be engaged, and churches to be equipped.
We have international.
Oh wait, there's more.
We do have somebody from Guatemala in one of our groups, so that we have international.
That's so cool. Next stop, Mars. Okay. Here's the next question, number 7. In 2018, Changing Lanes was invited to the first ever Sexual Integrity Leadership Conference as a conference content developer. In what city was that conference? A, San Antonio, B, Chicago, C, Nashville, D, Las Vegas. A, San Antonio, B, Chicago, C, Nashville, D, Las Vegas. This is going to be probably a crapshoot here. I said it, you did it. Beverly, we were great minds think alike. She was over here rolling her dice on her table.
All right, so what do you guys got?
What do you guys think? Hold that letter up high, take a big fat guess. In 2018, Changing Lanes was invited to the first ever Sexual Integrity Leadership Conference. That sounds like a party. As a conference content developer. In what city was that conference? San Antonio, Chicago, Nashville, Las Vegas. This table, I can tell, is really serious. You guys really want to get this right.
Yeah, you got to tell us. That's like
C,
C.
D, C, and A. The answer is A, San Antonio. That legit, I think, took everybody out except for Christy's table! They got a home turf advantage, I think. Man, that's awesome. That is so funny. I'm really laughing at that, Brett. This whole run is rigged. It's all good. I'm going home. Is the auction rigged? I keep getting outbid on the Thunder stuff. Is that rigged too? All right. Whoever's bidding on the Thunder stuff, y'all cut that.
So, everybody take a look at the auction. You good? I mean, we've got 40 minutes till it closes. Has everybody got their highest bid in? Okay. If you guys got more you want, we'll give you time to do it. But it's in at 7:37. All right. So from here, we're going to take you into the third of our boards. We're already giving you accountability, truth, and now connection. You may say, okay, what's different between this and accountability? Connection is when you have people that you feel safe with, that you can do life with. It's not just sharing the struggles with, it is growing past that. We take Ecclesiastes 4, verses 9, 10, and 12. I always want to read this to you. This is something we tell the guys constantly. 2 are better than 1 because they have a good return for the labor first. If either of them fails, the one will lift up his companion. But woe to the one who fails when there is not another to lift him up. And if one can connect, with one can overpower him, who is love, who can resist him? A cord of 3 strands is not quickly torn apart. I'm going to watch the video and I want to talk about this just a little bit more. So go ahead, guys.
Connection has meant so much to me when I look back just on my journey of changing lanes and just even my battle journey with pornography. Looking back, every step of it, it's always tied to someone. Whenever things kind of came to the light about my pornography and stuff like that, had to do with a breakup I went through. And I'd have guys come up to me and they would say, hey, what's going on? What happened? And I just always felt the Lord put on my heart, just tell them, tell them everything. And each time I walked through that opportunity to confess my sin to them, and almost every time it turned into them sharing their struggles as well. And through that, the Lord really taught me the power of confessing to one another, but just the need to have other people to walk this thing through.
Drew and I met through a mutual friend, and like, you came into my life at seriously one of my lowest points. There's very few people and you know that you meet in life that you can really be honest and real about the things that you struggle with on, and there's things that I can tell you that really I can't or don't tell anybody else.
Changing Lanes has really showed me that for authentic community and authentic connection, there has to be vulnerability.
And being real with people, it lifts a weight off of you, and it can encourage others to do the same. Thing that was awesome about Changing Lanes is we didn't have to pretend we didn't struggle. We all knew before everything, before everyone, that, hey, this is my struggle. I'm gonna be real about this, and there's no shame here, there's no hiding here.
So I've just seen so much connection between us, Brett and I, the guys in the group, and I just think it is just so crucial in this journey against something that wants to isolate you.
The truth is, you know, God built us to have community. Jesus himself had his disciples. It's such a powerful thing. Like, it's not just my life that's been affected by this, but like it's other people's families that are improved because of the work that we get to do here.
Well, probably one of the biggest lessons I've learned from being vulnerable is the way that it allows you to connect with others, because so often it's very fearful to want to share those things because you just think, well, I'm giving them fuel to maybe tear me down, you know, giving them something to use against me. But there's rarely been a time where I've been vulnerable that I haven't seen somebody else see that as an opportunity for them to then be vulnerable.
And that community, that connection is something that changed my life.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Grant. So if you guys haven't figured out who Drew is in the room, I just need to look up a little higher than where you are and I'll find you. Sorry, Drew. Grant, where are you at? See you? Right behind you. There you go. Okay. Those guys they're my two of my Thursday night leaders with me. And with Jackson back there, that's the guys got the table all together. Those two like to fight who's my favorite. They always think that's something. When I'm running late, then I always that's my favorite. It's their thing. But that relationship that is built, that connection, it's crazy to see how that transpires from just them and the time that they went through the group together to how it's transpired to outside of it. And they've done some things with their wives together. It's incredible. It takes from the idea of all the shame that I hold on to and realize that's not my identity. That my identity is something more. That's things I've done and God has redeemed it. Connection, it's powerful. So I'm going to go back to Keith to get you guys a few more things.
As we continue throughout the night, there are still opportunities for you guys to, on the online auction, you guys can still make those bids. And then also in the back and on your phone, you can do the $2 for the raffle and the scratchers. Those are our winners. Those are available still in the back. There's a big stack of them, and literally prizes are sitting back there for $5. So I want to let you guys know that. I wanted to let you all also know that once you guys do get on with the raffle tickets, they will give you a physical raffle ticket. You need that. So you can purchase it digitally online, but then they have the physical ticket back there, and we'll draw those later. As we look through the thought of connection, and we all here in the room, some of y'all may be connecting for the very first time with people at your table. Maybe you guys are connecting with ladies for the first time, reaching across, shaking new hands. Guys, I know there's guys that have been in groups maybe close to 10 years ago, and then there are guys that are like currently going through. All of that is a form of connection, and all of that, you kind of have to weed through some awkwardness, but also you get to the good stuff through connections. I think that's how God intended it, from Adam and Eve all the way until now to his second coming, where we get to see him again and we connect with him. That is the goal. And this is, of course, our third of 4 core values. Another form of connection And Brett is going to be giving out some awards to men who have stepped out of their group and into leadership, where they're going to lead other men into freedom. They themselves have a story of freedom and are still fighting for it, by the way. I sometimes have men who look at me, and I'm leading my second group, and they look to me like, Keith, how do you have it figured out? I'm like, oh, if you only knew, brother, the fight continues. The fight continues. I think a better way to say it, and Brett has taught me this, the surrender continues. The surrender. I think fighting got me here. White knuckling it got me here. So the true victory is found in letting go. The true victory is found in weakness, and Jesus displayed that on the cross. And that is what these men who are going to be recognized tonight, is they are leading every other man in their small groups and calling them out in love. And ironing sharpens iron. There's a grind to that. And there's a smooth product that is left afterward and a useful, sharpened product afterward. It's designed that way. Brett has some awards, and he's going to give out to men of various different levels of involvement with small groups.
So this started with God put on my heart. Changing lanes moves forward because of what he puts on so many others' hearts. And so what I want to do, because we have not had the opportunity to do this, is I want to give some recognition to our leaders tonight. Give them a thank you. So my leaders, would you guys come up here for a minute and join me, please? And former leaders. So gentlemen, these are a token of my appreciation. So your one's back there. I got them all personalized mud that has their name, how long they've been a leader, and what groups they've been a part of. So I want to get those to you guys. I got to figure out where you guys at and all stuff. So Ryan, here, but we got the first one for you, sir. So Ryan has been a leader since, when was that, 22? Yes. Yes, and his group is 29 and he impacted, so either that's a blessing or some of those guys say, yeah. Good. Thanks, Ryan. And then one of our newest leaders, but he picked it up quickly, is Grant. He has been a leader since 2022 as well. And we got these two guys teamed up together. I don't have to worry about a group. I know that they've got it, and they push and challenge and encourage them. And it's evident in the lives of their change. So Grant, thanks, So Ryan was in our Wednesday night group, Grant's in our Thursday night group, and Jackson Love here is also in our Thursday night group. Jackson has had a unique situation where he went through Changing Lanes as one of the guys online. He started out as helping us as a leader online and has moved back, 2 months ago, 3 months ago? So Jackson has gone through those different places and has been able to still invest and challenge and encourage men, even when it only feels like it's a 2D situation. But it goes much deeper than that. It doesn't just go to the physicality of being a person, that you can impact somebody's life. So Jackson, this is 2022, this is 30. Thank you, sir. I'm going to try to do this so you make it a little bit better. He does. So Drew went through our groups a little while ago, 2016, I think? Yeah. So he went through our groups when the groups were still being held at Liberty Church. And so he got the opportunity, and afterwards he decided he wanted to help. And he helped in group 19, group 21, because it started in 2019. And he took a break, and he's come back, and he's paired up with these two guys as well. The four of us lead on Thursday nights. They show up about 6:30 and go home. Depends on the night, how the guys are doing. They've seen 11:30 on multiple occasions. And so, thank you, sir. So this very young man here, David Rayburn, he went through the program way back when, even before the 10-year anniversary that we're celebrating. But you guys are wondering, how's that happen? 10 years ago is when the IRS gave us our nonprofit status. So we're celebrating with the IRS today. So David, he has been a leader since 2019. He has been faithful. He comes all the time. He's invested in groups 23, 27, and now in 31. He is part of our Monday night team. And he comes with it, and Some of us guys, we can be harsh, we can be hard on you guys. David just loves on. He made a correction and you feel like, oh man, Grandpa's supposed to love it on me. But he makes a difference. He impacts lives, and I couldn't do it without you. Mr. Bob Reed. So Bob went through a group when we were actually doing groups at an insurance agency in Bixby. Yes, we crammed in after hours into their conference room. Maybe what, 16 individuals or something at that time? It was packed. And we had guys at the table around, large conference table, sitting behind the conference table. Stacy, who's here somewhere, she came and spoke to the guys. She basically had to stand up against the wall to talk to them. I remember correctly that night. Bob was a guy that has walked through this and came in and said, okay, I want to get back. So in 2020, he came in as a leader. And the way we have our group set up is there's in teaching time, there's someone that's leading, teaching, then we have the other leaders kind of waiting for the small group time. They'll invest during the teaching time. And we have somebody that's learning the technology, that's learning the computers, the cameras, all that. Bob is our computer guy. He loves that corner. When he has something to say, he will let him know. The guys, and his impact is a lot of lives. So Bob, you've been a leader in groups 26 and 29. Thank you, sir. So this gentleman, Dallas Chandler, right here. Yes, he has the wife that likes to recognize him and embarrass him. She's also shown me some good videos over here today. Talking about the Rangers. Anyway, he's the one that's got the newborn room. So if he looks like he's a little tired, then maybe. Yeah. So, and it's kind of funny, each time Dallas goes through a group, whether it's participating or leading, he has a new baby born during that group. So we're not going to let him lead any more groups. But he's been a leader since 2021 in groups 27 and 31. Dallas, when he came in and helped me in group 27, he paired up with me in our small group side. And he was learning, really getting the group going and understanding. This current one, on group 31, he's part of the Monday night team with David and myself and Brandon. I cannot show up, and I know that they're getting just as much input from Dallas than what I would give them. This guy is amazing in what he can do in investing in these men. Dallas, this is for you, sir. I appreciate it. Patrick Cunningham. So he was in a group with Bob, and he came alongside, started leading right afterwards in 2020. The story is that Patrick and I, we've known each other since high school. And he watched Changing Lanes grow and decided, you know what, I need to go. And allowed it to transform his life and give back. Patrick is I would say his words are not many, but when he speaks, they are powerful. And so he's part of our Wednesday night group. So with Bob, and last time was Pete, but I'm going to be joining them again this next time around when we start in February. So Patrick, I just want to say thank you. This is group 26, 29. Justin over here, he is actually the first leader that we have up here that I was not actually in their group helping lead. But when I asked, when their group was finishing back over the summer, I asked his leaders, is there anybody in that group that you think could be a leader? All four of his leaders did not hesitate and said, Justin. He's got what they need, he's got passion, he's got heart for his men, and he's got passion for the truth. And what I've seen and watched of him, his volunteering and helping us is immeasurable. We had him over here working, helping with the technology night that was supposed to go a little bit smoother. Not because of him, it was totally a thing. And he's been a trooper through it tonight, and I greatly appreciate it. Justin is in group 32, helping with a group that just started September, is that right? On Tuesday nights. So, Justin, thank you, sir. Mr. Mike Ross. So Mike is a two-time Changing Lanes guy that he just couldn't get enough of us. And so he decided to come back through. But Mike, you got a heart. You got a heart for these men. And in the midst of that, you love them. You don't push hard, but you let them know when there's things that are going on. I'm glad that I know that I can leave this with you and know that this is going well. Now, one of the things that you may not realize, and we don't have all of our former leaders here, is that to be a part of Changing Lanes, we need to have every fourth member be a mic. And that, so in most groups, we have a mic and a mic and a mic, it seems like. So on Tuesday nights, there's Mike Ross. So if you'll notice, his badge has last name on it, everybody else has usually just the first name. We had to give him so we could distinguish from the other mics. So he and Mike Tedford, they team up together to lead this new group on Tuesday nights. So thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Mr. Ross, I got something special for you, sir. You gotta wait. Oh, okay. So this gentleman didn't think he was supposed to get up. Maury Ross, he is probably one of the guys that has had more impact on Changing Lanes in the early on development than almost anybody else. Maury came up to me, when did that launch? Like 2011 somewhere? 2012?
2012. End of 2011, maybe?
Yeah. And he came to me and said, hey, I've seen freedom in this. I heard about your ministry from my pastor. Can I come alongside? Maury is the original first volunteer leader that we had for this ministry. You got a passion for Christ, Lord. The Lord that there's nobody I've seen quite like it. Man, it's incredible. If you want to know more about Maury, his testimony is on our YouTube page. You should go check it out. But Maury joined us as a leader in 2013 is when it ended up going. I got it right here so I don't lose it. But Maury, just to give you an idea, he was a leader in Group 6, Group 8, Group 9, and Group 13. So he invested early in these men and allowed things to just really set the table. Maury, I can't say, this is not enough to be able to say appreciation, but thank you, sir. So we have a few leaders that are not here tonight, so Keith is the last one I get to give one of these two. So Keith is a Wednesday night guy, now a Tuesday night guy. When Keith went through the group, he had just got on at UPS. And so he would come in smelly, grimy, he came exhausted. Even after those holiday shifts where he's delivering packages. And that is his thing, and he encourages guys now to use package emojis on there. That's his thing. One box at a time. And as you can see, he's impacted this ministry. So much so that we brought him on to help us out. That he's one of our employees as a contractor. And so with that, he helps with partnerships. He also, the newsletters, if you guys ever see those, that's his handiwork. Keith is kind of become my right hand man. No. As you can see, we're up here tonight. Keith, again, you just, I don't think he does it now. But Keith has been a leader since 2022. He is now in the second group leading. He was in group 29. Now he's in group 32, working on Tuesday nights. Keith, thank you, sir. So there are two guys that have gone through this with me more than anybody else. And a lot of organizations, companies will give service awards for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. We go by groups. So, Mr. Brandon Cox, come here, sir. So Brandon went through in 2015, 2016, and I think it was appropriate that he was at FBC Jinx when we had a group, which when he went through the group, church did not give us the anonymity that most of them do. They put us on Wednesday nights during church service that everybody had to walk past their room to get to their classes. Brandon went through and came, I want to help. Brandon's been a leader since 2017. He's been in groups 16, 18, 23, 27, and 31. He's a 5-group member of this. And he's also the president of our board. And if you guys give me a hand for Brandon Cox. So that group that Brandon was in, it produced a lot of our leaders. And it was pretty incredible. I guess just being seen and known while they were going through it. Must have done something. And but at that same time, this guy that's been taking your photograph tonight has come alongside. He is my guarantee. I don't have to ask if he's going to show up, he's going to do anything. He's a yes man. And he's like Bob. He likes to be back on the computer, but when he has something to say, he's going to let you know he has something to say. Mike Tedder, come up here, sir. Mike has been a leader since 2017. I think he went through one group and said, okay, hey, this is great. And he said, do you do another group? And he goes, well, I got nothing better to do. So after each one, that's his response. I got nothing better to do, which I'm glad, because the men's lives that you changed are glad you had nothing better to do. So Mike was a leader in group 15, 20, 24, 28, and 32. Mike, thank you, sir. So that is our group leaders. We've got a few extra people here tonight, which they were. You guys can sit down, actually, one. Except for you, Dave. There are people that have invested in this ministry more than others. There are some that come, do the thing of the group, and they leave. This man right here, I want to give him this distinguished alumni award because I don't have to ask, he just shows up. When I know that there's a pinch, you're there. When there's somebody that is looking to say, hey, you know what, I'll talk to a church for you. I will go do whatever. I will give abundantly out of my paycheck to help out the ministry. There is no doubt where this man's heart is and his heart for others. Today, this distinguished alumni award, you get the very first one that we're going to keep doing more, that you've done so much more than just what I said to do this. I'm so thankful for all that you do. Thank you. This next award, our final one, is this is very personal to me. Going through the ministry this long, you have people come into the ministry and they leave the ministry. Some on their own accord, some because Christ has decided to go home. This individual impacted my life dramatically. And when Christ took him home, it left a hole. This guy, I was going to get choked up here on this one. His family's here. I'm thankful you guys are here. Terry Turner impacted Changing Lanes even beyond where he's been, where his days stopped. It was interesting, the night that he taught his last group, I was actually not there that night because it was my son's birthday. He went home that night not feeling well, and he texted the group, made it home. The next day, he went home. I want to share with you guys, we in 2016 had recorded some testimonial videos. That's when Mars was done. And we recorded one for Terry, but it never got cut. We never actually took it off and put it together. So over this weekend, I got to spend a lot of hours with my old friend, getting to be able to allow his message to be shared to you. So, Justin, if you'll share this with the guys, please.
Somebody gave this to me today because they think that I always smile. And so it was a compliment because now I do always smile, but it's not because I'm hiding behind a mask. And I thought, oh, this could be a good object lesson. I don't know that they'll use it, but I like it. If you don't know what the issues are, you're not going to work on fixing them. If you don't know that you're hurt or that you're broken, you're not going to work on fixing them. My name is Terry Turner. I was a youth group leader for 32 years. But when I go home, I wasn't youth group leader material. And so I couldn't have been a very good youth leader because of my duplicitous lifestyle. I had lots of feelings of shame and guilt. And at first I thought there's got to be something wrong with me. I mean, this is just wrong. And then I realized I can't let anybody figure it out. I can't let anybody know. So I went like this, and I hid behind a mask. And I put forth a good face. And I was always really busy in the church and really busy doing stuff so that nobody would know that inside I was dying. I finally acted out and went too far. And so I went to prison for 2 years. But even as I was going to prison, I recognized God's got his hand in this. I'm going to adult timeout. And God said, here, I'll help you stop. And so I realized this is a good thing that I'm in trouble, because now there's hope. For a long time I thought, you know, if people really knew me, they would hate me. And I went to Changing Lanes, and there was a group of people there that had similar problems. And when I'd say, this is what I've been thinking, they go, yeah, I know, me too, I hate it. And one of the things about Changing Lanes is that it's a group of people living life together. And so we encourage one another, we support one another. If somebody falls off the wagon, then we rally around them and, okay, how can we help you build walls? How can we help you be accountable? No, the one thing that I would encourage people to do is to be open and honest. This is kind of a joke, but it's not. It allowed me, for the first time in my life, to take my mask off and say, this is really who I am. Changing Lanes has allowed me to take off my mask and be a real person and know that I'm accepted for who I am, not for what I've done, what I haven't done. I'm just me. Changing Lanes is a place where people can be open and honest and grow. Go. Get signed up. Do you need the address? It's just like, I'm talking too much. I think that's all I got.
I watched that dozens of times putting that together, and my heart still getting choked up. That guy impacted my life. Impacted a lot of lives. So much so that we wanted to name an award after him. This is going to be an annual award that we give to somebody that I choose that has shown the character of Perry, that has a passion and a heart beyond themselves. Yet, all of my leaders, you guys are amazing. And I put you on par with Terry. Terry took his realness and gave it to the guys. As you can see, he has a heart. At the same time, he can soften you up with his humor. So with this award, unfortunately, the person I was giving this to tonight, they didn't know I was giving it to them. And unfortunately, they texted me that they were sick and they couldn't make it tonight. So we're going to get it to them. But Eric Vandenbrink is the man that I wanted to give this to. He has been along my side this whole journey. He's been an encourager before this ever became a nonprofit. When we started and incorporated, we had to start a board. He was one of the first people on. He was on that first board. He's met with me constantly. When we used to go to church together, now we don't get to as often. We're not going to church together, but he still finds time when we meet over lunch and catch up and he asks, how am I doing? How am I really doing? Because on here I have Eric Vandenbrink, an encourager, an advocate, and board member of Changing Lanes since his birth. And that's who he is. I think with that, I mean, if Eric would be here tonight, I know that this would mean a lot to him. Guys, this for me is the pinnacle of the night, right here. Because life doesn't change without each of us investing in each other. And it depends on whether he's a leader, whether it's somebody that supports us, somebody that encourages us, someone that's praying for us, somebody that's telling their story, whether it's a husband or a wife, about the good and the bad. Because that's how we connect. That's how life changes. So early on in this ministry, people would come and say, I want to be a part of Changing Lanes. I'd sit down with them over breakfast coffee. I'd tell them my story and they go, I hurt myself in your story. can I come? God uses us to change others. And when we squash our story, are we trusting Christ to use it to be able to further the kingdom? Each one of my leaders has said, I'm going to trust him in this storytelling to go beyond. I realized in the chaos of the night, I forgot to put up a banner that we had made just for tonight. And it said, from one person's story of surrender, over 400 lives changed, 3,000 students impacted, countless families and churches impacted. With the verse 2 Corinthians 12:19, which is where this ministry is really based off of. And the verse is, and starts with Paul saying, he said to me, Jesus says, my power is made perfect in weakness. My power is made perfect in weakness. Not when we're on our mountains, when we're doing great. It's down here in our weakness. That's what Paul wrote from that. He said, well, therefore, I'll boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. This story of the boasting of Christ's power is what tonight is. You guys are here with that. And so I want to say thank you for that. We're not done yet. We still have a little bit more. So Keith, I know we're getting tight on this, so I'll let you share what you did do.
A big round of applause for all of our leaders, Terry and Stan. We have talked about accountability, truth, connection, and finally our fourth core value is hope. Many of us in this room have felt hopeless, questioning the core of what you believe. I remember in my own personal life being on a living room floor, laying out cold.
Before we get there, we need to let you guys know the auction closes in a few minutes. So you need to get your last bid and see if anybody outbids you. Just want to give you that.
Jump in there. Speaking of laying on the living room floor, auction closes here in a little bit. So, no, if you guys would again, all donations go to the ministry. If you don't win your item, I challenge you to take the money that you would have used on that item and put it towards a single donation on the website, towards the ministry. All the funds are greatly needed and put to good use. So, but as we look towards hope, we've all felt hopelessness, and we've all felt hope and everything in between. What does hope actually look like? Our fourth and final story is one here in the room, one that I know personally, and some people that I love. I want to introduce to you Brittany and Dallas Chandler. Let's watch their story.
What Changing Lanes has done for me, it's given me freedom. It's allowed me to be who God always designed me to be, without something looming over my head, me having to keep something in the background that was really just destroying me. The sad part is it wasn't just destroying me, it was destroying my entire family.
From the wife's perspective, am I actually ever going to be loved or valued or seen as a human being? We had this facade that we were this happy young couple, and so I didn't even want to acknowledge the truth myself.
Every time I tried to stop this, I would say, God, I want this gone, but I would just keep on going back. I was a terrible human being. In our marriage, I said, I guess this is just who I am, and it's not true. That's just a lie that Satan says just to tear us down, to tear apart family. And I said, I don't care what I gotta do. I want this gone. And that's where I was led to Changing Lanes. It changed who I am.
At first, it was a lot of actually loneliness because it was hours every Monday night of me being alone with the kids. But I slowly saw the change in Dallas, which was encouraging. And now I see it as Dallas investing in other men, so their wives and fiancés can see hope and encouragement as well.
It took a really good core group of guys to really drag me out of myself and show me what God really wants from me. It allows me to be who Brittany needs me to be. It allows me to be who my kids need me to be. Only God has the ability to make change like that.
I remember feeling so isolated and worried that my feelings were wrong. I should support my husband. That's how I felt. Well, what does that look like? Sometimes that's letting go and saying, this is your mess you created. I'm stepping back. You have to start the cleanup process here.
There was a moment when I was going through group, and it was when Stacy, one of the counselors that comes in and speaks to the guys, she started talking about how the wives are victims, and like I kind of thought about it, but it never really sat. And I feel like that was really one of our turning points.
That was a huge turning point.
And I was seeing all the things I've been doing to Brittany for years. I came home, and that night, I couldn't stop doing this. I was just sobbing. I just said, Britt, I am so sorry for everything I've done. I know I've told it to you thousands of times, but I didn't realize the victim that you were. And it was that moment that she started getting her voice back. She started being the Brittany that I fell in love with at the beginning. And it took somebody to step up that had their voice back to give the wives a voice. And that's why I'm so proud of her. Because as much as this is needed for the men, there's nothing like this for the ladies.
Coming home that night and apologizing to me with sincerity, and him telling me I am the victim of his choices. It's freeing. It's crumbling at first, of course. But there's identity in that, which gave me, okay, this is where I am, so now I can move forward. And finally, I was like, okay, I am only responsible for myself. I'm not responsible for his choices. And as wives have registered for the wives group and I've started seeing their thoughts, I was shocked how honest some of the wives were in their responses. Things like, how do I trust again? How do I feel wanted again? And so once I could actually acknowledge that and say those words, my husband is a porn addict, my husband is a sex addict, there's freedom in that truth.
There's a turning point where the shame doesn't hold the weight anymore. I'm a different man now. And that shame that would cycle me back into it doesn't hold the weight anymore. It allows me to walk in the confidence that God created me to be. And with that, it allows me to be the leader that Brittany always desired me to be. I wouldn't trade my time as a leader for anything in the world. Getting to share Christ with these guys every single week, I'm able to tell them, I've been there, I've done that. If you'll just push through just a little bit longer, just to see the other side, you'll see it so sweet that you're never gonna want to go back.
Powerful. This doesn't just change individuals that come with us in our groups. It impacts families. Brittany and Dallas have told the story once before, but we like, we're going to talk about hope. We know what hope looks like in their stories. We want to tell it again. And so when Brad sent me the raw cut of this video, he's like, Brendan shortened this down. I'm like, you don't believe it. I didn't even realize it was longer than the others. This thing is powerful. Brittany has allowed Dallas to be a leader. But then yet she has decided that she wants to have a voice as well in this to be able to impact lives. Earlier this year, she's come alongside us, that she has taken over the role as program manager for us, first time we've had one. That she has said, I will do this if you'll let me start a group for the wives. It's something I wanted to mention for a long time. And she has taken it, started this fall, and she asked me, how many people do you think are going to break come? I think I told her 2, 3. We got more than that. We're going to be really good. I'll let her, when she comes up here in a second, tell you how many attended. And it's not just in Tulsa. They've got people from across the country coming. Ready to meet them up here? And by the way, if you ever get any notification of thank you for supporting us or saying, hey, would you be willing to support us, which you're getting towards the end of the year, so maybe more of it. Yeah, it's going to be great. So,
celebration of Christ and God Almighty doing work that only He can do. Because changing lanes was His idea. It was at the beginning, it's still His idea, only He knows what's going to happen in the future, and that is exciting. We've had fun tonight and laughed. We've had our heartstrings tugged, but all this stuff in the evening should and does point to Jesus. Jesus redeems, Jesus heals, and Jesus is our living hope. I'm thankful for Christ's work through changing things. It's still hard. To restore my husband and our marriage, but I also praise Him for what He has done in hundreds of other men and their families, many of you in here, which is so encouraging to see. I praise Him for the opportunity to develop and form the Changing His Wives group, with 2 other amazing women and wives who asked for years of their support from Him during the week. A year and a half, every week, for hours and hours. And the echo has been no, but now the echo is yes. And it's so exciting. The wives group meets one Sunday night a month for we have scheduled for 1 hour. Have we gone past that hour both times? Yes, and that is okay. And we've met twice so far. Our first group, we had 7 ladies, 1 who joined us on Zoom. Our second meeting, we had 10. And we had 3 ladies from different parts of the country. I'm looking forward to seeing the relationships grow between women, between the alumni wives, the current wives. It's been so fun to see already as they encourage each other and point each other to Christ. All aspects of changing lanes are possible because the Lord provides. He provides churches and counselors to partner with. He provides leaders and volunteers, and He provides financially. Changing lanes with exciting plans for next year, including the lives with other things we have up our sleeves, and we hope to not only pray how to financially support changing lanes, leading men and lives, but join us as we help men and their families find hope in a new life. So thank you so much for your support for the past 10 years. And Dallas and I did some math. In 2007, when Brett and Chrissy shared their story, I was in 9th grade, and Dallas was in 8th grade. So that was fun. So it's fun to think about. That was 10 years ago. So right now there are guys in 8th and 9th grade who are going to be in class in 10 years. So that's pretty cool to think about. So thank you so much, and I'm going to turn this back over to Keith.
All right, you guys ready for some more fun? We got some raffles we're gonna give away here. The first door prize, I keep using the words raffle and door prize interchangeably, and that's wrong. So this is gonna be a door prize, and you are going to draw the name unbiasedly. Drum roll, please. And this is for a $25 gift card to Merritt Bakery. Come on.
Mr. Haney, are you hungry?
And our last but not least, door prize tonight. Lovely display of Scripture, Matthew 19:26. With God, all things are possible. The drum roll, please. The winner is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ryan Dooley! Come on man! When you guys come, bring the raffle tickets with you. So now we're going to transition from our door prizes to all of you who purchased a raffle ticket. We are now going to draw for 4 prizes. 4 prizes with the raffle tickets. Is it too late to buy them like in the next 14 seconds? Scratchers are still here. Okay, scratchers are still here. Everybody gets a trophy with scratchers. Like literally each one of them is a winner. And those are back here. We also have free stickers, 10-year stickers. And they are in the process of tearing these up. All right. I want to know who won that cabin. Can we tell who won that cabin? Who all bid on that cabin? That thing was awesome. And who's inviting me, by the way? That thing's got like 14 rooms in it. I can stay in one of them. I got 4 children. We'll stay in 5. Y'all stay in the other 10. Okay? Deal. Okay. Oh, he's literally going to find it out. Okay, great. So we have the raffle ticket. Brian Doolin, everybody. Brian Doolin. There he is. There he is. He's on the video. He's famous. So we have four, where's my notes? We have 4 raffle ticket giveaway items. This is like a Jesus casino over here. You can quote me on that, Brett.
No.
Is that going? Did we record that? All right. So the first one, this is for prize number 1. This is for a date night, a vintage car ride. Ooh, we're getting bougie. Provided by a Royal Wedding Car, and a $100. That's a lot of money for me. I don't know about you. That's a lot of money for me. $100 for the Ridge Grill. This is a gift card. $600 value for the car, for the dinner. Everybody pull out your raffle tickets. And here's your number. The number we have is 891038. 038. Who is our winner? Scream and yell. Hey, Stacy!
For y'all that don't know, Stacy comes in at the end of our first phase and gives the guys a real idea of what their wives are going through. She brings her counseling skills and has invested so much into these guys. And they talk about it continually through the months afterwards of the things that she gives them.
Literally, week after week, group after group, they continually talk about Stacy's input and her expertise. As a certified sexual addiction therapist, she is professional, she loves the Lord, and she's sold out for this cause. A single round of applause just for Miss Stacy and her involvement with Kingdom. She got that vintage car, $100, a girls' night. Hello. Okay. All right, here's the next one. Prize number 2. This is a restaurant frame. Miss Sarah, would you mind holding up that frame? It's to your right. It has got miscellaneous gift cards valuing at over $150. At my house, that's a lot of mac and cheese. That will provide a lot of mac and cheese and beanie weenies at my house. So $150, 5 gift cards. The winner of that dinner night out for like 5 nights is 891099. 099 are the last 3 numbers. Look at your bingo. Hey! Excellent. If you would, you can make your way back to the back. All right, we're going to check, make sure you're a truth-telling man. There it is. There you go, sir. Have a good time with that. Sorry. I make Brett nervous with all of my improv. Prize number 3. This is a Porter Cable Orbit Sander. Valued at $82.99, because that matters to know how much it costs. 891051. 051 are the last 3 numbers. Don't be bashful, Jeanette O'Hara. 891. She's like, what did I win? What did I win? You won an orbital sander. All right, so you're going to come back here to this back table, and we're going to get you taken care of. Congratulations. She's like, what am I going to do with that?
Give it to Brad to use?
Yeah, Facebook Marketplace. I'm trying to get $89.99 or whatever. Come on, man. That's right. Re-gift Christmas. Okay? Or use it, girl. Use it. And the last but not least, we have 2 boxes. This is legit rustic cuff bracelets. It didn't match my outfit, so I didn't buy the ticket. But it is at a $75 value. And the number of that one, this is the last drawing for the raffle. 891124. 891124.
Did the guy win it? Is that why you're not speaking up?
Oh, she's surprised. It's like a slow win over here. All right, 1, 2, 4, y'all got it? Let's see it. Come on now. There she is. Congratulations, Ms. Linda. If you would, you can claim your prize at the back there. All right? Give a big round of applause for all our raffle tickets.
So, just to you guys know who you want to make friends with, Sarah Leppert back here won the cabin, so I'm sure you have a lot of people that want to come hang out with you. I always want to share with you guys, if I can be real for a moment. God has continually shocked me every year that He provides the funding for the ministry, a little bit more every year. During COVID, when everything was falling apart, we kept going up. This year's different. We are actually way down this year. So what you guys have done tonight has helped us. Just looking here at the numbers on the auction, you guys helped us raise over $4,000. Thank you. Thank you. So as we're wrapping up tonight, the future for us starts tomorrow. There's more men that need help. Did you know that we actually have a waiting list constantly for Changing Lanes? That when we started the group back in September, by the time that group started, we already had 10 people waiting for the next group that doesn't start until the beginning of February. It's crazy. We can't fill the need enough. The future for us, we're trying to get more leaders, which is desired because then we can help more guys. At some point, we're in a facility that we're getting ready to outgrow. So we're going to have multiple groups in one night. Right now we can't. It's one group a night. That's a future desire that we have. We're still working, slow process, we're still working, and we're going to have a Changing Lanes app in the future. God set His timeline on it. He took it out of my hands. I'm like, okay, God, you got it. Brittany is going to continue to grow the Wives Group. We're going to continue to keep speaking to the youth. Let them know that the things they're being exposed to are not what defines them. We're still going to continue to keep educating parents to help them to be a safe place for the kids versus their children seeing them as a place of shame and want to keep things in secrecy. Most of all, we just want to keep glorifying Christ. Because around this room, whether you have personally been impacted by Changing Lanes or you've just given it back, I think you've seen Christ move and seen what He does. So as we're wrapping up tonight, I just want to say thank you to all of you for coming. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your encouragement. So we have one more thing we want to do tonight before we close out, is Stokely has a thing that they do. They like to take a big group picture. Now, I know that some of you may not want to be in that picture, and that is perfectly okay. If you want to step inside tonight to not be in it, that's perfectly okay. But if everybody else would like to get together, oh, we have more stuff? What picture? I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. I see people standing over there. Yes, sir, where are you going?
Okay, all right, so have a group together. I'm going to ask you, Christy, would you mind coming up? We just have a couple of things to share. Chris, would you mind coming up this way? Jonathan, I'm going to ask you to bring those up here as well. We've come together and just done a couple of things to say thank you to you all. Brett, the first time I met you, I was on staff at a church, and you came in with this ministry and met at my church. All the meanwhile, I was needing the help of this ministry and did not have the courage to speak up to join it. You met down the hallway from me. That was my very first time meeting you. And it was, I think 5 years later, I shook your hand walking up the stairwell, and you were my small group leader, and I smelled bad from a day at UPS, and this ministry taught me a lot, walked me through some pretty dark times. And this ministry is not easy. Working with you, I have seen that. I have heard that. Christy, working this ministry is not easy. And I see that from you too. Your daughter's here, I know your boys, I know the personal and the public, it all intertwines, and it's just weird and messy, and all you know to do is take the next step forward. I see that. And I want you to pause and look at the faces in this room and recognize this is a drop in the bucket of the lives this ministry has affected. This is merely a fraction. And that overwhelms me. I have 2 little numbers on my cup, and I hope to get many more. I'm grateful for your friendship. I'm grateful for your mentorship, for your accountability, for your tough love, for your encouragement, and just for being a safe place. Christy, thank you for all that you do. He speaks that he married way up regularly. And you guys have a tough go with your kids and your health and all the personal elements of your life. And just know that this room, we have your back. We're praying for you. And we have a couple of gifts for you. The first is, I know that you all have had some car troubles. I know that you guys have had some major car issues. So I wanted to let you know that we bought you a car. Changing Lanes bought you a special edition 1.8 die-cast Macito, which is a Lamborghini. This is for you. Enjoy that car. That is from the heart of our bottoms. All right? In addition to that, we have, this is for you, Ms. Christy. We wanted you guys both to know that we love you. And 2 other additional things. This is from many, many individuals to come together to tell you that we love you. And talk is cheap. I tell my boys that, and I want to let you know, if we just say we love you and don't show it, that's not love. So I want you to know that there are funds in there for your family to use as you see fit. And then last but not least, this group picture that we're going to take this evening is going to go inside this autograph frame. And if you didn't get a chance to sign this autograph frame, we'll have it at the table at the exit. There will be pins there. I invite you guys to write your name and to write, not a novel, there ain't no place for the novels, people. Leave your novels at home. But we got space for a little encouragement or a scripture that they can refer back to. Maybe one that meant a lot to you through your journey, men and wives. And the group photo that we're about to take, we're going to put this in here. So if you guys would, big round of applause for Brett and for Christy. We have one more video, we're going to take a picture, and then we're going to call it a night. So let's check out our final video later.
2 Corinthians 12:9.
2 Corinthians 12:9.
2 Corinthians 12:9. But he said to me,
For he said to me,
My grace is sufficient for you.
My grace is sufficient for you.
My grace is sufficient for you.
For my power is made perfect in weakness.
For my power is made perfect in weakness.
For my power is made perfect in weakness.
For my power.
For my power.
For my power is made perfect in weakness.
Therefore.
I will boast all the more gladly.
Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weakness.
About my weaknesses.
So that Christ's power may rest on me.
So that Christ's power may rest on me.
So that Christ's power.
So that Christ's power
may rest on me.
On me.
On me.
On me.
So that Christ's power may rest on me.
So that Christ's power may rest on me.